So the first thing I think that schools are failing to do, and as a result, it's failing students, is that they are ignoring the elephant in the room. Every student brings with them from their environment a set of beliefs and perspectives, and it creates beliefs that I would hear very regularly as a teacher, such as, there's no point in dreaming, you're never going to get what you want anyway. I'm just going to collect my check from the state. We have no power and control, big business and the government to do, or school is useless. It doesn't help us at all in life. So if you're a teacher and you're struggling because you can't keep kids engaged, they just don't care, they just sit around and talk, so you put those talkers in the back and say, just don't disturb the rest of the class that wants to learn. What's really happening is you're not getting to the root of the problem. And that is, as one of the students said, they believe that school is useless, that it doesn't help them at all in life. So you need to go back far enough to help the students see how school actually can be helpful to them in life explicitly. So that first thing that students are needing, the schools are not providing, is a purpose, a personal purpose. They need to know, first of all, that they have strengths, that they have value, that they themselves are meaningful, and that they are necessary and important in the world. These students come from environments where they've been taught in one way or another they're not good enough, that there's no point in dreaming and in looking toward the future and making plans and setting goals because only the government and big business have control. There's no point in trying. So we need to get to the root of that and help students to see that they really are meaningful as individuals, that they are bringing important things to the table for future generations, that they can have an impact on the way things are, the way that culture is in the future, right? So we need to empower youth to take their strengths, to take their values, to take who they are and find how they can contribute to the world. How do we work together so that we don't feel like government and big business have control of us anymore? Discuss. Get these youth together. What can we do to have more control over our own circumstances without asking the government or big business for a handout to get there? The first thing that students need is they need to see visually right in front of their faces just how important they are as an individual and how important other people are around them. There's no need to compete. There's no need to compare. Everyone has had challenges and traumas, and the goal is to be able to take those challenges and traumas and turn them into a positive thing that will empower us and make us stronger instead of make us harder or bitter or more guarded and angry at the world and those around us. So, how do we bring ourselves as we are and see our individual value, love ourselves deeply, and love and appreciate other people for their differences, for their individual strengths, for their perspectives that they're bringing to the table to help us have a greater picture and perspective of what we can do to work together in order for the future to be better. And when we do that, students start to see that they can have a plan for the future, that they can set goals. And when they do that, they start seeing the value in various classes. I'm not saying that everyone has to understand and know every subject. That's another big thing I think schools get wrong, that we're forcing everyone through the same coursework and we just expect them at the end to have all the information they need to live their lives as adults. That's not happening. As a matter of fact, 87% of university or college freshmen and sophomores don't even know what they want to do with their lives yet. They just know I graduate from high school and what you do next is go to college. But they don't know what to do in college because they don't have a plan for their future. They don't know what they want yet. So when you start early and say, these are your strengths, this is your purpose, this is your value, you can contribute to the world in meaningful ways, and we're going to help you to get there. All of a sudden, youth start to say, hey, I have someone to support me. I have someone to guide me that I didn't have in my environment before. I don't have this help anywhere else, but now I do. And now that I do, I can start to dream. I can start to plan and set goals. And now that I have a plan and I have goals, now I can see how school fits in, and I can focus on the classes that are the most important for me to be successful within my goals and my future plan for myself. This is the foundation of what schools are getting wrong. We're focusing on STEM instead of on how to empower individuals to see how they personally can bring value to the future, to where we're going. So that's where we're going next. The next video is going to be, how do you help students to see specifically their personal strengths, their personal value, and see how those strengths and those perspectives and that value and that personality that they have individually can be applied and used in various careers. Because when they start seeing that there's potential for them in the future, and there's someone to guide them and help them find the resources to get there, all of a sudden, they start seeing their future. And that's exactly what we need to be doing in schools. That's not happening. And so that's what I'm doing. I am bringing you what schools are failing to bring youth to help them be successful upon high school graduation. The guidance and the support that is not there needs to be there. And that's what I'm bringing to you as a life and career coach for youth and young adults. I had a student in Aurora named Chris. Chris was a 7th grader. And when I asked him what he was considering doing for an occupation after school, he just shrugged and he said, collect my check from the state. And I was shocked. I was so shocked that I didn't know how to respond to that, because I'd never considered just choosing to live on state funds. But that's what he knew. That's what was in his environment. That's how he was being raised, in that environment and that necessity. And so he didn't have another example to show him that there was something else for him. Well, later in the semester, he was using permanent marker to draw a picture on the back of my classroom wall. And the counselor had him come out of his other class to come and remove it from my wall. And while he was there, I asked him what it was that made him want to draw on the wall. He said, I just want to get my name out there. And I was like, your name, like, as a part of a leader for a group or art or what? And he said for art. And I said, well, did you know that government agencies, that businesses, they will pay you to do art on their buildings, on walls, on just blank surfaces around town? He's like, really? And I said, yeah, and work on your skill, work on your literal art, become really good at it, and people will pay you to not do graffiti, but to create art, to create something that represents them and their community and their business. And it opened a whole new perspective for him. He had no idea what was available. And that new awareness gave him a little, I could see a glimmer of hope in his eyes, like excitement. And he had a group of buddies that he wasn't super engaged in school at all. He just sat there and talked with his friends through class. And one day I talked to him and I said, Chris, I'll bet you're the oldest of 4 or 5 kids. You probably live in a single parent home. That parent's probably working 3 or 4 part-time jobs. And you probably feel like, as the oldest, it's your responsibility to take care of your siblings. It's your responsibility to make sure they're fed. And he, about halfway through this, he looked down at the floor. And I could tell that I was mostly accurate. And I said, but you are an extraordinary leader. People follow you. They do what you lead them to do. You're smart. You're capable. You have an opportunity here to guide people toward goodness, good choices, or to lead them toward ones that are going to be harmful for them in their lives. And I said, Chris, if you keep your head up, if you make good decisions, I can see you as the first Hispanic president of the United States. And this huge smile went across his face. And he almost laughed. And then just as quickly, I could almost hear the voice in his ear saying, you're just going to collect your check from the state. And just as quickly as he smiled, it disappeared and he looked down. Kids today don't have someone to tell them, I see this, I see this, I see this, I see this. You have potential. All they have is a teacher trying to get them to pay attention, focus, and if they don't have food at home, if they don't have a belief that they're worthwhile, that they're worthy of attention, worthy of guidance, if they don't think they're capable, if they don't think there's a future for them, that's why they sit in class and do nothing. When students start to see their potential, you can list their strengths, you can list what you see in them and how those strengths are used in whatever future that they want to have. All of a sudden they start seeing that there's a connection between who they are and what they could be in their future. And when they see that connection, all of a sudden what they're learning in school becomes meaningful. There's a reason to pay attention because certain classes have things that they will need for their future now that they believe that they have a future. I encourage you to be you, to find what you can contribute in this world, and it doesn't need to be what school focuses on. However, school can be very valuable for whatever you choose to do in the future. The choices that you make today, especially with how you spend your time in school, are going to either open doors of opportunity in your future, an opportunity to say, yes, I can because I have this knowledge and understanding and education, or they're going to limit the opportunities that you have available to you in your future because you didn't take the time to learn it while you could. Be wise, learn all that you can, and my role, my job at this point is to help you figure out how your strengths, how your personality, how the things that make you you can and will lead you to what you're passionate about, what you want in life, and your goals. Okay? So tell me in the comments, tell me what you want to be, or send me a message. Tell me what you want in life. Tell me what's holding you back. We will work together to make sure that you have the awareness, that you have the resources, that you have the support that you need, because schools aren't providing it and teachers don't have the time, which is why I do what I do. So you are invaluable. You can do anything, and I'm here to support you, and I'm here to bring you other individuals and other resources that will also support you in your goals. Let me know what they are. We will get there together.